This video is sponsored by Bug Baffler.
In the beekeeping world, there's a lot of advice out there that can get you on the wrong path. But there's also a lot of good information out there that can really help you out and get you going in a good direction. Stuff we've studied over the last 6 years that has brought a lot of success to our apiary. Today we're establishing 5 beekeeping facts. Good afternoon, beekeepers and bee enthusiasts. How you doing? It's another great day at the farm. And we're hanging out. It is a very nice day out right now. It's a little chilly. Still got me a hoodie on, staying warm, but it's warmed up just a little bit outside, but it's a clear blue sky, you know, not too much wind, just a beautiful day. And of course, we're getting towards the end of November and we're heading into December. You know, that winter is coming. It's going to be getting cold very soon. And yeah, we're ready for it. You know, we got that good wood stove going, you know, and we got plenty of wood for it. And love wood stoves because wood stoves are very efficient as far as heating goes, and they're a lot less expensive than electric heating. So we're going to be cranking that thing all throughout the winter, and that's going to be a lot of fun. Anyway, we got a wonderful video planned for you today. And of course, today we are establishing 5 beekeeping facts. So in our last video, we debunked 5 myths about beekeeping. So in this video, I figured we would flip the script and basically come at you and say, hey, here's 5 good facts about beekeeping that can really help you out, especially if you're getting started in beekeeping, or even if you're an experienced beekeeper, you could probably learn from this video as well. And it's going to be a lot of fun. I'm really excited about this video. And without further ado, let's break right into it. So I'm standing outside of our classroom hive, as I like to call it. And this hive has become a hive that we mostly do demonstrations on now. We used to house bees in it, but more or less it's become the hive that we just do talks and stuff about. And of course, on the front, we have our beautiful Patreon members. And I'm so grateful to y'all. So thankful for your generosity and all you've given us. You've made it so much easier for us to be able to acquire new trees and flowers and beekeeping equipment. And I can't thank y'all enough. Truly, I'm so grateful for what y'all do. And what we're going to be doing is we're going to be completely remodeling this hive, giving it a new paint job, redoing the names on the front, and just making it look really nice. We're super excited about that. And yeah, we'll probably make a video just so we can give a special shout out to these members. But anyway, this brings us to our first beekeeping fact, which is horizontal hives require little work. Now, let's talk about the 2 big hive systems that are found around the world. Now, of course, the 2 big hive systems are vertical hives, which, you know, most of those hives you've seen in pictures and videos and stuff like that. It's the ones that have the boxes that stack on top of each other, and that's how they handle those hives. And then, of course, we have horizontal hives, which are not stacked on top of each other, but instead they are expanded horizontally on the interior. Now, what makes the horizontal hive so much easier? Now, you've seen those Langstroth hives. The Langstroth, if you don't know, is the most common used hive probably around the world, I would say. And it's just those straight up boxes that beekeepers will stack hives on. But basically, the reason why this system is easier is because those vertical hives that people have, anytime you want to get into the bottom super and get into the bees at the very bottom box, you have to remove all the boxes on top of that bottom box. And I've seen guys stack boxes like 8 boxes high or something like that. And anytime you want to go through all those boxes to get to the bottom tier, you have to remove all the boxes on top. And let me tell you something, it's a lot of work. And before you diss me and you say, I don't know what I'm talking about, we kept Langstroth hives from 2011 to 2017. And I remember that workload that I did during that time. And we used to have a whole field full of bee boxes, and I would just look at it like, good Lord, I don't know if I can go through all these boxes right now. Like it's a lot of work. It really is. But why is the horizontal hive so much easier? I mean, what's the big difference? Well, instead of course, stacking those boxes on top of each other, we expand the hive horizontally, which means if I want access to the brood chamber where the bees are located, all I have to do is open the top. And then there you have it. I basically have access to all my frames and everything as soon as I open the top. And it's that easy. I don't need to move boxes. I don't need to do a heavy workload. It really is that easy. And I'll tell you what, when we discovered the horizontal hive in 2019, I never wanted to go back because it was just so much easier to be able to walk up to a colony if I need to extract honey or I need to put frames in or I need to do an inspection or anything like that. All I got to do is lift up the top and I have access to the bees, and it really is truly wonderful. And there's several different types of horizontal hives. This is called a Lands horizontal hive, and I like the Lands hive because the frames are big and they're really nice. There's also a top bar hive, which if you've seen, it's kind of triangular, but it's a horizontal hive as well. And there's actually Langstroth horizontal hives too. So if you really like Langstroth, if you want to get into a horizontal hive, you can do it with Langstroth as well. And I've seen horizontal Langstroth hives and they're just as easy. I mean, once again, you lift up the top and then you've got access to the hive, and it really is a good system. So we've really enjoyed the horizontal hive. I'm not going to go back to any other hive system. I'm pretty much always going to use the horizontal hive from this point on. And yeah, it's just been a really good system for us. So our next fact that we're covering is that colony health can be determined easily. Now, how do we know our bees are doing good? Like, what are the signs that they are healthy and they're active, and they're happy and they got food and all that good stuff? How do we determine if a honeybee colony is doing well? Well, the primary way, the best way to determine this is activity, okay? Now, right now, it's about 55, 60 degrees outside. It's not super cold. It's warmed up a bit. And as you can see right now, we're not seeing any bees coming out of this colony, or I haven't seen any bees. I mean, it'd be funny if a bee flew out while I was saying that, but I haven't seen any bees. So if you have a period where it's above 55 degrees and you have no activity on the inside coming in and out of your hive, then that's a very good sign that the colony has probably perished, okay? Because even in the dead of winter, if you have days that are above 55, 60 degrees, then the honeybees are going to take that time to go out, stretch their wings, maybe go get some water, do all that good stuff. They're not just going to sit inside and do nothing, okay? That's not how honeybees work. They don't go on vacation. If they can work, they're going to work. And if it's nice out, then they're definitely going to get out and stretch those wings. Now, it's a nice day out today, and it's a little cooler, but it's not that bad. In fact, I could almost wear, a light long sleeve shirt right now. But we're not seeing any activity coming out of this colony. And because of that, then I have every reason to believe that this colony has perished. Now, I've said it before a million times, that's no reason to panic. Honeybee colonies perish, everybody loses colonies, so you shouldn't stress yourself out if your bees are not there, okay? Sometimes it's just gonna happen. And guess what? Next season, we're probably gonna put a whole nother swarm hive on our beautiful French cleat system given to us by Roy and Shirley, love y'all. And we're gonna catch another swarm, install it, and then they'll be good to go and we'll have fun with it. Not gonna panic over a lost colony because that's just how it is in the beekeeping world. You're gonna lose colonies. But activity on the outside is the best way to determine colony health. Now, some people would say, well, what about the queen, or what about their honey, and what about all this other stuff? Well, if they are active in the spring, summer, and fall, and they are bringing in pollen, and again, if they should be super active during those periods, then in most cases, your queen is going to be fine. They're going to have food. They're going to be good to go. So it's no reason to really panic. And, again, we have a very independent style of beekeeping. We let the bees do what they're going to do. We are just providing housing for them and collecting a little bit of honey on the side. We're not doing any crazy work on top of that. If they come and they stay, that's great. We love to have them. If they leave or if they perish, then hey, it just happens sometimes, so you shouldn't freak out. But you can determine very easily if your honeybee colony is doing fine just by checking that activity on the front. And that way you don't have to go inside the hive and dig through the frames and look at all your bees. I'm hearing people talking about it again, opening the hives in the middle of winter and going and checking out their bees. And I'm telling you, it's stressful for the bees. You don't want to do that. You do not want to expose them to the cold and release the warm air that they have trapped inside the hive. So keep it good for the bees. Check out their activity on the front. If you've got activity coming in and out on warm days, your honeybees are almost always doing good. If you don't have any activity on the outside, then most likely they've perished. So the next fact we're talking about is beekeeping requires minimal tools. Now, in the beekeeping world, as with most things, there are 1,000 different gadgets and devices and all kinds of things that people use to keep bees. And we're being told that, you got to have this and you got to have that and just all kinds of crazy stuff. And you need to spend money, swipe that credit card, go crazy, buy all kinds of stuff. And really 90% of it is not necessary, okay? They are overcomplicating a very simple process. And in this fact, we are going to talk about the essentials you need to be successful as a beekeeper. Now, the first thing I want to talk to you about is, of course, your bee suit. And our bee suit is brought by the wonderful company Bug Baffler. And if you don't know what a bug baffler is, it is an insect suit that is used to repel insects and keep you safe from insect bites and stings. And it's good for mosquitoes, gnats, no-see-ums, honeybees, all kinds of stuff. It's a really good suit. And in any of our videos where you've seen us keeping bees or actually handling bees, you've always seen us in these suits. And it's just an outstanding suit. I really do like it. It's a very lightweight suit. It comes on very easily. And what I like the most about it is how nice it breathes, okay? It breathes really easily. And it slips right on, and it's so light you don't even realize you're wearing it. It's so nice. And we've been using this suit for over 5 years. Really enjoy the company. They are very professional. They're located in New Hampshire. So this product is made right here in the United States. And it is just outstanding. I mean, I really do enjoy it. And it's got a nice hood and it zips. And I got into a hive one time last year that was really hot. And this suit kept me safe. It really did. I mean, it kept the bees off me. And if you're getting involved in beekeeping, you need to have you a nice suit. And the suits that you see most of the time are those big white suits that you see a lot of beekeepers wearing. And I'm telling you right now, in those suits, you're going to cook, okay? They're very hot. You're going to sweat like crazy. If you get a suit like this, it breathes super nice. It's really cool. And guess what? If you go to bugbaffler.com and get you a suit today and use code SecureAcres5 in the discount code section of the checkout area, you can get a 5% discount on any of their products on their website or anywhere. I mean, it's just really nice. We love this company. They've got all kinds of different stuff. They've got suits that are darker, and they've got these, I like these white suits. They're very nice. But it's just a really good company. And if you're getting involved in beekeeping, you need to get you a good suit. I've seen people go into hives without a suit before and get tore up. I mean, those bees, you can have a colony that's really nice for a few years, and then one year they just get hot. And you do not want to get into a hive and have a swarm of bees around you stinging you. I mean, it can be really bad. So get you a good suit, and it'll be a lot nicer for you. And of course, other tools that are very essential, we have our bee brush. A bee brush is a very light brush, and it's just very nice. It's very gentle, and you need this for when you're handling your bees in the hive. And let's say you got a frame and you need to brush the bees off. This is a very light brush. It doesn't hurt the bees, and it keeps them safe, and it's just a really good thing. So get you a good bee brush, and you'll be happy with that. The other thing we have, and this is one of the most important things, is of course your hive tool. Now when you go into a beehive, what bees will do is they will seal the cracks on the inside of the hive with what's called propolis. And if you don't know what propolis is, it is tree resin that honeybees collect. And basically they seal all the cracks in the inside of their hive with it, and it's like super glue. I mean, it's really tough stuff, and so you need something to pry open those frames. And so get you a good hive tool, and this is very important for you to be successful. The other thing, of course, and this is everybody's favorite thing, is our smoker. Now, smokers are essential. I've gotten into a beehive before and I decided not to take a smoker, and they came after me. I mean, we've got a video about it. I think it was a video last year. But I was talking about aggressive bees, and I didn't have my smoker that day, and they came after me. And I totally regret it. Ever since then, I always have my smoker. And what smoke does is when bees are around you, they kind of emit a warning pheromone all around them to warn other bees of danger, and they kind of mark you with it as well. And so what the smoke does is it masks that warning pheromone, and it's a lot better that way. And if you use a smoker, it's a lot more simple. You get you a good smoker, get you some good smoker fuel. There's all kinds of stuff you can use. You know, there's like these cloth cakes we get from a bee store that's down the road, and they're slow burning and they're very good. So get you a good fuel that you can use on your smoker, and yeah, it'll work really well. And of course, don't want to forget these, but I like to use some good gloves, and these are some vinyl gloves. And for some reason, when honeybees, they touch it, even though a stinger can go through these gloves, when honeybees touch these gloves that you're wearing, they generally don't sting it. They're not familiar with the material, so they don't sting it or anything, and I haven't had too many issues with it. But you want to get you some good gloves, because when you're working those frames, you don't want to drop them or anything. And I've seen people wear really thick gloves, and I've seen them drop their frames as well on the ground, and you got bees everywhere, and it's just a big mess. So I prefer vinyl gloves. I do recommend them, and if you can get you some good gloves, you'll be a lot better. And that's basically, those tools I just listed, that's basically what you need. Good bee suit, bee brush, hive tool, smoker, gloves. If you get those essential tools, that's really what you need to be successful outside of a hive and all that good stuff. But these basic tools are what you need, and they've really helped us out. And when I recommend beekeeping to people, this is the stuff I tell them to get, and then that'll help you be successful. So I'm standing outside our beautiful woods, trees as far as the eye can see. I mean, there's just trees everywhere. It looks really nice. And, earlier I spoke about the wood stove and, how we like to use it for our heating. Well, I had a friend ask me, he said, where do you get all the wood for your wood stove? And I tell them that our farm is completely surrounded by trees. I mean, we've got a lifetime supply of trees out here, and it's beautiful and it's wonderful. Now, this brings us to our next fact, and that is that honeybee swarms can be found anywhere where there are trees and flowers. Now, I have viewers, really good viewers, good friends of mine, that have tried to catch swarms and they've struggled. And I've had people tell me like, hey Wes, I've tried to catch swarms in my area, but I've been unable to catch any bees. And so I've had to either get a package or a nucleus hive or anything like that. And I really do feel for these people. I mean, everybody a lot of our viewers, they just want to keep bees. And so they want to get some, and I get it. I totally get it. But one thing we do have to make clear is that if you have trees and flowers and everything, you can find honeybees all over the place. And these woods all these woods will house honeybee swarms all the time. And there are bee colonies in these woods. A lot of them we don't even realize they're there, but they are out there. And they're just living out there and they're doing their thing and they're waiting for the swarm season and they're going to swarm. So if your area has any honeybees at all, like if you've ever seen a honeybee on a flower, or what you could do is take a little bottle cap and put a little dab of honey in it and put it outside and just do it in the spring, summer, or fall and see if honeybees come to it. And they will. They have a smell like you wouldn't believe. But just put that little cap in and see if you've got honeybees. And if you have a few honeybee visitors, then that means there are colonies in your area. And where there are colonies, there are swarms. They are out there. The swarms are there, and every single swarm season they're going to swarm. Almost all colonies of honeybees will attempt to swarm during the swarm season. The only thing that'll stop them from doing that is if they're not healthy or something like that. But if they're good to go, if the bees are good, they're going to swarm. And that means you have your opportunity to catch swarms when the swarm season arrives. So for those of you that are like, I've tried everything, I've tried so hard to catch bees and I just haven't been able to do that, the only thing I can tell you is don't give up. Keep trying, and what you really need to do is you need to put more swarm hives out every single season. So if you put 3 out last season, you didn't catch any, the next season spread them out and put 6. And then if that doesn't work, double that the next year. You know, just keep working at it, and I promise you, you'll land that swarm. Those bees are out there. I mean, they are found all over the place. And I would say in just about every location in the United States, there's honeybees. The only places where there might not be bees would be like a desert or something like that, but even those places have bees too. So as long as you've got trees like this and you've got flowers in your area and you don't live in the middle of the city or something like that, you're going to have honeybee swarms. But the funny thing is even in cities, there's swarms too. So you can find swarms all over the place. Don't give up. If you're having a hard time catching them, just keep putting in the effort, keep doing it, keep putting up more swarm hives. You'll eventually find them, and you'll be so happy that first swarm you catch. I mean, I tell you, if you think catching a fish is addicting, you haven't felt anything until you've caught a honeybee swarm. I mean, it is an amazing feeling, and I just love knowing that in these woods all around us, there's honeybees out there that we just don't even know about. So it's a really cool feeling, and yeah, so just don't forget, you can find honeybee swarms in any area where there are trees or flowers. So our last beekeeping fact is you can find free plans online for constructing hives and swarm hives. Now, I have to give a big shout out to Dr. Leo of horizontalhive.com. Dr. Leo is a natural beekeeper. He's been teaching beekeeping for many years and teaching sustainable, natural, hands-off approach for beekeeping. And he's just been great. And we found his website in 2019. And on his website, we found Keeping Bees with a Smile from Lezouten. And he actually worked with Lezouten himself. He co-wrote Keeping Bees with a Smile, and he has an outstanding website for you that you can check out and get all kinds of good bits of information on. So one thing we have to talk about is, of course, if you go to his website, he has free plans that you can use to construct lands hives, swarm hives, and all kinds of different crazy things on there that's just really cool stuff. And he even has a bed that you can house a colony in, and basically you build the bed on top of the colony, and basically you can sleep with the bees and do all that stuff. And it's just really cool stuff. I mean, he's got all kinds of outstanding stuff on his website. We've used his plans many times to construct a lot of hives. The hives you saw today were hives that we constructed using his plans. And we are so grateful for him for coming out with that stuff and making that readily available to the public. I mean, it is a really good service. And his website has all kinds of great stuff. He's got all kinds of different tools and stuff you can get. He's got like that bee brush that you saw me with earlier. That came from his website. He's got our Italian honey press. Everybody loves our honey press that we do every October, that honey press came from his website. So he's got all kinds of great stuff on his website, and I have a tremendous amount of respect for him. He actually kicks classes every year where he's at about natural beekeeping. And yeah, he's a wonderful resource. Really have a lot of respect for him. And yeah, check out his website and go on there, and you can check out, like, he's even got a page about catching swarms, and he's got all kinds of great books you can read. Of course, Keeping Bees with a Smile is a book that you can get from his site, and just an outstanding website. So if you're getting involved in beekeeping, or even if you've been involved in beekeeping, I highly recommend his website. It's really cool stuff, and we do thank you, Dr. Leo. So there you have it. There's 5 beekeeping facts we've brought to you today. And we hope you learned something, whether you're a brand new beekeeper or you're a very experienced beekeeper. Hopefully we were able to, help you with something today and just give you a little piece of knowledge. That's what we're always aiming to do, is educate and get you guys some really good information out there. And we appreciate y'all so much. I love reading the comments you guys leave, and everybody is just so polite and so kind, and we really do appreciate you. We love reading those, and yeah, we're gonna keep trying to crank out these videos. I know I have periods where I don't release videos for a while, but honestly, a lot of times I get writer's block, and it's just a matter of me trying to figure out what I want to talk about. I don't want to just sit here and just say stuff, but it's just redundant information. I always try to come at you with more stuff every time we come out with a video, but it's been an outstanding time. I'm really enjoying it. We hope you're enjoying it too. So have a great day. Hope you enjoy these facts, and until next time, we'll see you soon.